Brian Noble, what's your thoughts after another narrow defeat to York here at the LNER Stadium this afternoon?
Yeah, a few things to clean up. I thought both teams in the second half were a bit frantic, dropping the ball here, there and everywhere. I thought for long periods we defended really, really well, but I think we need to have a look at our attack because we looked a bit frantic in attack when we got opportunities. And just an element of patience. I think both teams showed why they're at the top end of the table. And full credit for York. So they were hanging in there at the end, weren't they? And we just couldn't quite get on level terms with them.
It was a great game, I guess, from a neutral point of view. Could have gone either way. But
Yeah.
what do you felt the difference was ultimately, Brian?
I thought Paul McShane's kick in the second half in a game that was going to go either way, I just think he nailed it. He found a kick that landed in goal and made us have to fight our way out of our own end, which we did, to our credit. Got to the right parts of the field. It's fine margins at the time, and one of the differences for sure.
When you look, especially in that second half, I think there was 5 goal line dropouts that Bradford forced York to conceive in total, Brian.
Yeah.
Are you frustrated that you've only come away with that Sam Hallis try right at the death?
It's frustrating, that's the right word to use. Actually, on the positive side of things, some of the things we're doing to get there are good. Now, I think we're all in agreement in the changing room just now that we've got to be a whole lot better when we get opportunities. Because this is a tough division, you have to play every week, and there's no difference for us. Was it a missed opportunity today? Perhaps. I think it shows that both teams are prepared to fight right till the end. There's a lot of tired bodies out there, and I don't think you can go there thinking they dominated this game.
Brian, it's now, I guess if you include the cup game, a margin of 8 points. 3 times now Bradford have lost to York, all by narrow margins. What are the specific issues you feel with, the side's sort of attacking structure, that inability, despite having possession, to break, York's resilience and defence down?
I don't think it's a huge thing. I think it's just it looks a bit chaotic, doesn't it? And that's the time for calm heads to create an opportunity that can get you over the line. I think we were just so thrilled that we were pounding their line and having a crack at them that we lost all about our shape, and that's the frustrating thing, that we lost our shape, and so it's important that we regroup, look at that. We've got a great game coming up on Friday against Oldham, who are pushing really, really hard and improving. But we need to improve. I didn't see anything in there that would lead me to believe that we can't beat York. So if that's the question you're asking me, I don't think that's true. I think we can. I just think there are a couple of things that we've done specifically today that enable them to get over the line.
It's clearly, Brian, you'd like more or better execution, more fluidity. Are you happy with the decision making of what's taken place today in terms of that attack?
There are a few messages went out. The decision making is what it is. When we have some good players and it goes away from the game plan, it's hard to criticise that, because it's why they're good players. They have to be able to play. But we do have a structure that we play to. I just think the excitement and the chaotic nature of what we were doing in the end doesn't lead to anything for us. So we need to learn that lesson from today. I thought we defended really, really well for long periods as well. A couple of hiccups in the first half, which probably took the game, but it's hard to be critical. The effort's there. The discipline is there to do the right thing. We've just got individuals now have got to buy into the system that we have, because it works, the system that we have. You just can't force your way over the line with 4 or 5 individual players.
Would you like to think that the players, as individuals and the collective, Brian, are learning something from these tight, close defeats? Because you certainly see what it means to them at the end. There's a lot of outpouring of emotion and frustration. Some close to tears that they've pushed York all the way, but not just being able to nudge over the finish line?
Well, I don't think it's quite as dramatic as that. I think it's, if we don't learn the lesson, we'll end up being dudded by somebody else in a similar fashion. So learning the lesson and on the performance that we dished up is the important one. York have been putting a lot of points on teams. They didn't put a lot of points on us. We didn't put as many points as we needed to on them. And the questions that we'll ask the players tomorrow, why? We'll have some good answers because they're smart, the cute cookies. But with 9 games to go, is it?
Yes. 8 games.
8 games to go. It's important that we back together and ensure that the structures are here too.
York are on this 11 winning run, Brian, in all competitions, which I guess highlights their defensive resilience. What do you make of York and that kind of defensive resilience? Just how tough, do you see it to break it down and score against?
It's as simple as that. You've got to do the things that they do. I mean, both teams dropped the ball a lot in the second half, which is unusual. But you have to go with them. I thought at times in the first half when we were going with them, they put on a silly drop or a silly penalty that gets them off the hook and puts them at our end of the field. We have to learn that lesson. We have to be a bit more boring ourselves. And it sounds crazy because we have a lot of players that want to entertain and are exciting players when they do. But some of those players today will look at the performance and say, I wish I'd have been boring on that occasion instead of trying to be expansive. So it's important that we do learn that today. We have got a huge game coming up on Friday now. It's the kind of pressure we've put ourselves under. And so it's important that we understand that we can do the tough stuff and roll down the field. And then we need to put icing on the cake for sure.
You made 5 changes last week, another 5 today. Yeah. Is that probably going to sort itself out now, Brian, and not be as high as dramatic, which might affect that sort of cohesion and consistency?
Yeah, that's an excellent point you make. We've chopped and changed the team with injuries and HIAs and things like that. It's difficult to get fluidity. I'm hoping some of the HIAs certainly will be back. I'm certainly hoping that some of the injuries will be back so that we can eventually get into a rhythm with the same people. That's important this time of year. So a lot of changes isn't, not accepted is the wrong word, it's not ideal. So we need to get to a point where we give people a crack and they understand their roles, which they do. We're 16 or 17 games in, 18 games into what we're supposed to be doing, and I think we had the most injuries of anybody else when you look at it. Hence, Fenton Rodgers, Connor Carr, I thought both of them contributed really, really well today. So yeah, we'd love that element of stability, but we've got enough good players in our team that, on a different day, we could have won that game today.
Connor Carr had a sort of interesting, varied second Bradford Bulls debut, put under pressure for the Ben Jones-Bishop try, which obviously come through his fingertips, but then I think he made up for it in the second half with that try-saving tackle on Ben Jones-Bishop in that far corner, Brian.
Yeah, he's a good young player, Connor. He's new to us this year. So it's really difficult. Jones-Bishop try, it's difficult to point the ball in there. And I thought, yeah, he did excellent. I thought he carried the ball really well too.
On the injury front, it looked like everybody come through unscathed today.
Well, we've got a couple. We probably might not make Friday, but I don't think it's a massive injury list.
In terms of players coming back, Brian, the players suffering the HIA, Tom Holmes, Bailey Lou, I'm not sure how the protocols work, but would they be good to go for Friday?
Well, Bailey Lou has an appointment with the judiciary, so he'll probably be missing. I think that comes up on Tuesday. Tom Holmes certainly available. And we'll take stock tomorrow, see what else is available too.
How far off are Mitch Suter and George Tafua?
George is probably the more serious of those two. Maybe still a couple of weeks, a few weeks. Mitch Suter, we're hoping that they'll feature very soon. We'll take stock tomorrow. It'd be nice to get an element of stability around that 9, 7, 6, 1 area. And that's what we're hoping to do on Friday.
Joe Keys, we got the impression on Wednesday that he might not be playing, but he's come out today. Was he fully fit, Brian, or has he been playing under par?
I would say he's under par. When he moved, he looked all right today. Yeah. No, if you put your hand up, you have to play, and you have to prospect of playing 80 minutes is there, and he did that. He put his hands up on Wednesday, practiced with us, and on Friday, and so he got into the team.
And just finally from me, Brian, another short turnaround, 5 days time. Oldham are coming to Oldham. The big games keep coming. They've had a big win over Sheffield. I think it's now 4 on the bounce for them. They're level on points with Bradford. Do you feel the pressure's on you now to achieve that top 2 goal?
No, the pressure's always on. There'll be chops and changes towards the back end of the year. Today would have been a nice opportunity that we haven't taken. People keep dangling the carrot and we haven't quite grasped it yet. I understand the nature of the challenge on Friday too, and our players will tomorrow. But we've got to get them healthy. We've got to see who's healthy. We'll get one shot at doing that. It's really important that we respond.
Obviously, a win, Brian, would have seen you go joint top with Toulouse.
Yeah.
How much of an opportunity do you think you have missed there?
Well, we'll keep doing it, really. We've had a couple of times when we could have been more established up there, but I just think the nature of this competition is going to be. York have yet to stumble and bumble, and I'm confident that will happen too. So it's important that we keep fighting. I understand we do what we can do to stay in the top 3, definitely. Our aim is still to finish in the top 2.
Obviously, you've got 8 games left, I think, now. How important is it that you don't let this game affect you too much?
Yeah, you've got to remain positive. We did a lot of good things today. I thought our being in the second half was pretty good. They got us with a couple of smarts, but I just thought the effort levels were excellent. I think we just got to stitch it all together.
And Aribi Doro, very good again.
Yeah.
Is he definitely going back to OKR, or are you looking to extend that?
Well, we can extend it definitely. There's an OKR player, and if they want him back, and they need him, they've had a couple of disappointing results, haven't they? So then that affects them on everything, but we're still on the lookout for players as well. It's important to bring the right ones in, if we do. But yeah, I'd love to keep Aribi, for sure.
And obviously Oldham next Friday. Is it almost the first perfect bounce back game for you because of another side within that title push?
Yeah, so they're going to be another really intense, a great hit out. They're a good team. They want to put right what we did to them at Boundary Park. So yeah, it's a really, really good matchup. We're going to have to be on our game.